Hey folks, I've went on a bit of a tangent there, then I tried to re-record, and I just I'm terrible at debating points. I feel like I'm a complete idiot, a complete retard. Let's be blunt here, and it makes it hard for me to vocalize myself, express what I see. Um, History of bullying. Okay. I'm probably going to retread some ground here because I don't know where I'm cutting. I'll try to keep it minimal though. Pirate queen, or the pirate chick you meet in Fall Void is an asshole. Complete bitch. She's not likable in the slightest. Swans in insults and degrades the characters you know, and gotten to like. She insults and derides Besto, who's hysterical. She belittles the other guy, I can't remember the other guy's name. She belittles his grief over the other girl's, as far as it's related to us, her death. And apparently she dumped him before because he wanted to settle down with her. And now she just swans back into his life, expecting him to open up his ties again to her. While he's in the middle of grieving, she's just going to use him to pass the time. Now, it's perfectly possible, as I was saying before, to have a lovable rogue character. Someone who's an asshole, but they're a dick, but you just can't bring yourself to hate them. She doesn't succeed in that role. Similarly, a lot of people try to write strong female characters, but they can't succeed in that role either, because they don't know what it means to write they're too focused on that name, strong female character. For whatever reason, when people start thinking that, they have difficulties writing a good one. They end up fixating on making her strong to the detriment of the character, to the point where she's unlikable. She's belligerent, she's angry and hateful to everyone, but it's clear that to the audience you're meant to love her. Shaolin is an example of this, to a degree. She isn't like that, but to me, her chapters are boring. To others, they're irritating. But it's clear. Here's the similarity. It's clear, according to others, I've been too disinterested in them to notice this much. But to others, it's clear that you're meant to like her. The author likes Shaolin, the guy who finished the Wheel of Time books, a character from his Stormlight Archive novels. I would reference it right here, but here it is. Couldn't see it. It's a bit further away. Brandon Sanderson. He clearly likes Shaolin. But she just doesn't come across well to the audience. Like I said, I found her boring, and others found her quite irritating, but he keeps throwing her at us. To be like, see, here she is, like her. And it's the exact same with the Pirate Queen in this. They keep hyping her up, talking about how great she is, but there's no reason for you to like her. To give an example from another ARPG, a character that I like, Bourbon. Captain Bourbon from Grim Dawn. I love him. Why? 2 reasons. First, 3, I think he had a nice voice. Secondly, grizzled soldier dude in Civil War regalia. Civil War regalia. I'm sure someone's made a porno parody of him in a regiment, but that's a different topic altogether. Share it with me on Twitter. It's of no personal interest to me. Not into that. But I would like to know that it exists. That's as far as my interest goes. Like that Elsa Anna modern day fanfic I remember reading, like 30,000 words. RK9 Elsa is suffering. It still stays with me. I read it a couple years back. But, yeah, Bourbon. Great aesthetic to him, and then the opening cutscene, he is awesome in it. Him shooting you down and all this, he's pretty cool there, and that just sold me on the character. Even though he got very little follow-up and detail to him, I loved when he reappeared in Ashes of Malmouth. That was great. I loved that character because of what I saw of him and the like. When it came, and another character I liked was the Ogrim, the chef that you meet in the swamp. There's a bit of mystery about him, there's delightful personality to him, and then when he does fight alongside you in bits, there's there's a bit of hype surrounding him, and then they build on that in Ashes of Malmouth. Spoilers for those who haven't watched the series that's come out a while ago. Go watch it now. I command thee. I liked both of them. They got great personality to them, and I'd certainly call both of them strong. They managed to succeed in making them both strong without making either of them distasteful. Certainly neither of them were going for the lovable rogue aesthetic, but they were still both strong characters that I liked. While they clearly are going for a strong character, they failed to make her likable. She comes in and shits upon the characters you already know and like. She runs down Bestel, who is hilarious. She belittles the other guys. I keep on calling Cronley. That's not it. Tarkley. She belittles Tarkley's grief. She apparently threw Tarkley out on his ass before, and now swanning back in to use him as a sex toy to pass the time. Then they have the audacity to have Sin being like, oh, I better be careful of her, this new pirate queen. No, someone just grab her and smother her with a fucking pillow. Like, her uncle, who is a pirate, who was a shitty man, is so much more likable. They give him a bit of sense of humor. He didn't go around running down other characters or being belligerent to them. Like, when he goes to the forest encampment people, he wants to be friends with that one chick. He admits that he finds her hot, but she doesn't like him. He's because of him being an undead being and not grooving with the spirit and whatnot. And there's that, and that's fine. That's a fine little dynamic going on there. He's friendly to the others. He isn't running down the people you already know. And he's got a fine personality to him, even if he's a dick. Maybe you could put him down as the more lovable rogue, Probably not lovable enough, but still, compared to his granddaughter, he significantly is. Basically what I'm getting at here is, I hope she's not in Path of Exile 2. I hope she's gone off, died in a horrifically sad sort of way, or hysterically sad sort of way, lost and forgotten on like a coconut-sized isle. And that's the end, all we hear of her. She's done nothing redeeming. Yes, she has gotten you back to raid class. She saved you after you got the power from the beast, and then she brought you back to Oriat. All of that was vital. But I see her as little more than a taxi service, a mere way of facilitating the story. I don't see her as a worthy character in her own right. It's not because she's a woman. It's because she's a complete asshole. That's the one thing I hate about criticizing characters. You criticize a male character, no one gives a shit. Criticize a female character and people want to rip your head off. It's kind of like the Galbrush paradox. People want female protagonists, but they have to be false, they have to be perfect. For those who don't know what I'm referencing, you can look it up and find the post yourself, but I can summate it here. I read it just earlier. Basically, Guybrush Threepwood in Pirates of Monkey Island was a loser. He frequently is on the receiving end of a lot of abuse. He's a fuck up. Spoilers, at the end of the first game, he's about to rescue someone from the ghost pirate Chuck, and he fucks up their own rescue attempt. They're about to foil the plan themselves and end the story. He fucks that up on them because he's such a fucking idiot. He manages to still bumble his way into a victory, but yeah, that's, Threepwood for you. If they made that character female, people will be gnashing at the teeth. There will be, there will be frothing rage over it because people are really oddly protective of fictional characters. How the UN was getting of fictional female characters. UN was getting onto Japan for having bad things happen to female characters in manga. Japan, quite wisely, for once, told them to fuck the hell off. Japan is just batshit in some of their own ways. Like, I have a tattoo on my shoulder commemorating one of my dog's life. My dog Jessie, lovely Labrador. I think I've posted some pics of her online. I know I have of Nero and other animals, but of mine, but I can't remember if I've particularly posted one of hers. I did post a video of her on my YouTube channel. If you look up a Loot Crate or Dog Crate or something, you'll find a video of her. I got a little present for her the Christmas before she died. Maybe I'll post some pics now of her, you know, at a healthier time. But I got a paw prints on my back of her to commemorate her. I want them going all the way down my back for all the pets, or at least all but Annabelle. She's a fucking nuisance. Anyway, cat. She's an oddly dirty cat. We have to pretty much follow her around everywhere. She, I don't know why she's oddly filthy. Her brother had an accident and was paralyzed from the waist down for a time. Wasn't long. For the best for him, we had to put him down. He was still cleaner than she was when she's healthy. He was still dragging himself out of the bed to go to the bathroom, while she went next to my mom when mom was in bed, right next to the pillow, or if not on the pillow. But anyway. I can't go to many like hotels or spas now because of this tattoo. They're trying to open it up for foreigners, but still there is heavy restrictions on it. Because apparently in the past they used to tattoo criminals, and then criminals embraced it, and so it's like, all tattoos are evil, including commemorating dead pets. Never actually posted a pic of it. Maybe I will. I will. But anyway. But yeah, people are oddly protective of female characters. I can't remember quite the trend I thought I was going with, but like I was seeing people condemning like female characters struggling, you know, suffering. Like they're the main character of a story, and main characters in stories typically, you know, suffer through something. You know, things can't always go their way, and they suffer for it. They were condemning this as misogyny, even though this is basic story writing. People get oddly protective of female characters, and it's bizarre. So, like, you know, oh yeah, I was saying about the Galbrush paradox, where, like, Guybrush is an idiot and so on and so forth. You couldn't have a female character like that, because they'll claim that's sexist, even though it's fine when it's a guy. And similarly, if you criticize a female character, it's again assumed as sexism. Well, it's fine if it's a guy. People get very weird about all this shit, and I don't understand it. If you're curious on my stances on this kind of thing, I don't care what you are. My life is an utter wreck, and I'm piecing it back together. I don't have time or energy to be like, oh, this person, you know, is... You know, this, and this. I clearly must calibrate exactly how I must treat them. I don't give a fuck. If you're nice to me, I'm nice to you. If you're not, I'm not. You know, I don't give a shit beyond that. I don't have time or energy to give a shit beyond that. Of course, I suppose I'm waiting for someone to be pointing out all the times I've bitched about Razor Fist, for example. That's just because some things stick in my craw and I get pissed about it. I'm obsessive about some things. But yeah, like I don't have time and shit to, but that is a bit different. He was bitching about a fictional character, and rather than me huffing and puffing about how to determine how I should treat him based on his arbitrary characteristics. But yeah, I don't give a shit who or what you are. You know, IRL wise, it doesn't matter to me. If, you know, guy, gal, it doesn't matter. I don't give a damn. You know, as long as you're nice to me, I'm nice to you. I don't see any reason to be any other way. If you're a dick to me, I'll be a dick right back. As much as I can muster nerve. Fictional character-wise, I don't care if they're a guy or a gal. Certainly I have a preference for big guy with a heart of gold and whatnot. But I just put that down to my daddy issues. So, yeah. You know, I honestly don't care. I was always raised to see people as equals, despite how much my nan may have attempted otherwise. She was always telling me everything would be better if women were in charge, and I'm sure she also went on racial rants as well. Not that I remember. When she was going on about the female one, it went in one ear and out the other. I was just like, oh, maybe she's right. Yeah. And then I would forget about it and go on my way. My obliviousness in life, like I was in a haze when I was younger, paid off, paid dividends. Mostly, anyway. I ended up listening to people that were a milder version of her before, but I eventually snapped out of that. Not on the racial side, on the sexist side, but women being just, better. Listened to them for a time, and then eventually, grew a few IQ points. But yeah, I honestly don't give a damn who or what you are. I don't have the energy for that. Even if my life was perfect, I wouldn't have the fucking energy for that. So yeah. And it's annoying for me to criticize a character to feel I have to make such a stipulation. I should just be able to criticize the character. You don't have to make such a stipulation when you're criticizing a dude, no matter how harshly you're doing it. Even if you are being an outright dick, just hating on him because he's a guy, you don't have to make such a stipulation. No one would, be so defensive. But people get really weird when it comes to female characters and things. And I just don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. But people always get weird about sexual things and the like. They always get weird about it. And again, like I said, I've been saying, I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. And now my eye is stinging like a bastard. I don't know why. It just randomly does. It's watering a little, but it might be watering because it was stinging, or it started stinging because it was watering. Okay, Tane is over here, and is the place I want to go. So is this...
Consider using those samples before you journey onwards, Exile.
Need one more brain. Should be fine to come back and use them. Yeah, this is a separate place. And it's got its own thing here. Oh, at the very least it's a smaller place. But, yeah. I've said up my piece. Basically, I really hope we don't see her again in Path of Exile 2. And I'm recording this, right? Yeah, I spent way too long talking about it. I'll give you bonus footage to compensate. I really hope we don't see her in Path of Exile 2. It's 20 years on. What can happen in 20 years? What can happen in 20 seconds? With the, right placement of a knife. But, I hope we don't see her. I really don't. Like I said, they had a possibility of making her, like, they clearly like her herself. No, they clearly like her themselves. And they had a chance of making her likable to the audience, or to me at least. But they failed spectacularly on that front. They just made her a belligerent asshole who shat on the characters that were established and already likable, and then hyped for no goddamn reason. And it just feels like it's cause of the whole female character thing. People go weird about when they're trying to write them. While they may be able to do the rest fine, they go weird on them. Just, I know, it's just, they just go weird on them. I remember actually seeing one bit of advice. It was from my aunt. She's an author. I don't know to what degree. We don't exactly talk. I'm not bragging about her here. It was just a bit of advice I remember her giving, and it's pretty solid. make a character, then worry about those such arbitrary sides of them. You know, male, female, and the like. Write the character first, then worry about them. It'll work out the best for the character and the story. To give you an example, Alien. You know, Ripley? Before Sigourney Weaver was cast, they actually hadn't decided whether the character was going to be a dude or a chick. And it turned out for the best. You know, Sigourney Weaver is Ripley. It's perfect for the role. You know, it's not Alien without her. And Alien is such a remembered bit of fiction. You know, it would have been weaker if they if they'd fucked up her character. A lot weaker. So yeah, that is a handy little bit of avoiding those kind of things. I haven't exactly abided by that when I've been writing my own story, but I think I've done capably in avoiding it. In messing up despite that. Sorry, I should say. I think while I mightn't have followed that bit of advice, I've done capably enough in avoiding messing up in spite of it. There we go. Additional currency items, rare jewelry, and the rest are just for bonus difficulty. Some forms, when it takes on the elemental form, it slows me. That's not something I need. But at the very least, I'm very good at cleaving down it adds. I did talk a bit... Ooh, this was actually something I was thinking of. A blessed orb already? Christ. I did actually talk a bit about my characters in the in my story, but I probably shouldn't, just because I'm writing under a pen name, and the less information I give you, the better. Because good, they're still here. There. It defeats the purpose of the pen name. I've already given you hints, but I want to, you know, keep the pen name actually, with a point. You know. But yeah. Oh yeah, I've lost all my own bed. I should have gotten them back, and there's no corpses around for me to use. It'll be fine. I'm more potent than they are. They are just tag-alongs. But, I did talk a bit about, you know, I was using my characters as an example, but it's best for me to not use them. So, yeah. But anyway, I've gone on too much. I think I've said my piece anyway. Basically, I really dislike the character. I think I said why they kind of fucked up with her. I might be wrong. It's a common occurrence I've seen in things of people not knowing quite how to do it. They double down too hard on it, and it can be hard to judge how to do that kind of thing. But they did double down too hard on it, and yeah, you can actually see here on the map that Fairgraves is actually the final piece already, even though I haven't turned it into him yet. Was it there the first time? I wasn't paying too much attention. Didn't notice. I didn't see it, certainly. But anyway, I hope we don't see her again. She's a dick, and I said why, in what ways, and why I think it happened, and whatnot. So yeah, I think I made my point and made it succinctly enough. Well, maybe not succinctly, I think that has a note of brevity to it, but I think I made my point at least understandable, even if it was a bit robust. At some stage, maybe I'll write... Oh, shit, I meant to have a blog post come out about now. I never queued it. I had so much time left till it came out that I forgot all about it. Or did I queue it? No, I didn't. Okay, I'm gonna have to go make sure the blog post is done. And release it and attach it to the video I was meant to have attached it to. Yeah, it was meant to come out like a week ago. It was talking about Jaina and her, the failure of her arc in BFA. Anyway, yeah, I think I made my point on her well enough. If you've anything you'd like to say, if you've liked her and want to share your perspective, tell me. I would like to see someone else's. Yeah. Let's just keep it friendly, eh? Basically, by keep it friendly, just don't be like, J'accuse! To me in the comments. That'll just be tiring. Like I said before, I just don't have energy for that kind of shit. Yeah, you okay, mate? You got a bit of foul flame on the heels.
My own. Please understand.
I fade out of existence. Yeah, your crew is apparently naught but chaff. No wonder you died.
Shore leave is over, Captain.
You've been dismissed. Okay. Captain Fairgraves' brain. For essences, there's some armor, lungs, liver, additional currency. Could make a more potent one, but we'll go with this. You know, on the picture we saw in the first episode, you saw the Metamorph using Malachi as one of its transformations. Clearly, that might have, and given the environment it was in, that's something you can actually face. It must be the map iteration of Malachi. I presume there is one. There's one for like all the bosses, to my knowledge. Moving on. But yeah, if you've anything you'd like to tell me, and you'd like to say, please let me know. I am open to discussion. As difficult it is for me to talk to people, I am open and interested in discussion. Just do keep in mind the backlog, and if your idea of discussion is J'accuse, maybe save vote of our time. What I mean by that, just calling me like, oh, you hate women. Yeah, that's not really a discussion. I just think a character was poorly written. Again, like I said, people get weird about that, all that kind of thing. Like, I remember I was seeing an interview from Rihanna Pratchett, and she was talking about like the friendship between Lara and What's-Her-Face in the Tomb Raider games, like the first one of the one Lara was writing. Rihanna was writing. And she was saying how it's a very female friendship, and claiming there's like one part you don't see guys doing, even though it's like holding their dying friend, and it's just like, what? And anyway, their friendship didn't seem too unusual. It just seems like two friends to me, none distinctively female. Then again, looking at the friends I have, yeah, I don't see any of them doing it. They're all guys. But I was just kind of thinking of myself, you know. None theirs, you know, seemed distinctly I wouldn't or couldn't do, you know. They just seem to honestly care and support each other. Not that I'm saying that my friends don't care, just they're all kind of stoic and whatnot, you know. I just leave everything to hang out. Like, seriously, I've said some things to one of my friends that I am never saying again. I'm taking it to my grave. I went a bridge too far. I crossed the... what's the phrase? This is pissing me off. I should remember it. Caesar... Cross... The Rubicon, yeah. I crossed the fucking Rubicon there, and thankfully it didn't end up in Civil War. that Simway just died there. It was fucking stillborn. Ooh, 3 ones over here.
Welcome, husband. We knew in our hearts that you would find us. Come, Doresso. Ambrosia and Amarissa must meet their father. Come, my love. Return to your family.
Well, she has been seducing all these other sailors and presumably raping them. Then again, no, it's rape even if she... Well, it's just more of a seductress rather than, using brute force. It would be rape by deception. Because she's using the hallucinations and whatnot. See, couldn't do that in Grim Dawn.
Your death is a mercy.
Sure enough. Ooh, treasure chest. And that brings you. I hope we can use the body parts from all of them. The 2 daughters and their mother. That'd be great. Oh, that's one hell of a ménage de trois. Well, actually, it would be considering we're in there, it would be a foursome, wouldn't it? Sounds hot. Huh? Random rogue exile just standing there around. Aura Greengate. Aura. Next, I start getting punched by a guy shouting "mudda mudda mudda" for 5 minutes. Well, this may be stronger than this. It's already pretty potent. It has a chance. I'm not even gonna look at it. I got way too lucky with this hammer. No way I'm getting that lucky again so soon. Ooh, I never got more zombies. As the gem levels up, I will get we'll get what? I don't remember. They will get more health as they level. So it's done a little differently now. But they will get more health as they level. Like before, you used to see on the gem, they have so much extra percentage of health. You don't see that anymore, but they still do get extra health as they level, like any of the other minions do. I think that was how they did it. I can't remember anymore. I just saw some tooltips saying that they don't get. They handle the health gain differently now.
Tala, Exile. Peace to you. You have the samples. Then please, place them in the jar and steel yourself. If the inoculation fails, the darkness will manifest quickly and violently.
Wait, that's if
My
it...
regards.
That's if it fails. Huh. And here I thought that was the intent. Huh. Well, we're failing with style. Oh yeah, I was saying that while Mervale has been raping all these sailors, she was the ones that she is proclaiming to be her Dressa's daughters are presumably actually his daughters. I do believe she was pregnant when he set off and then she disappeared. Oh yes, I should have leveled those a month ago. Sadly, I'm a little suffering on... Okay, V brings them in.
These samples are only of use to us while they're still fresh. And you're not going to find any better ones here.
Yeah, sadly we can only... Yeah, it is segmented. Regardless. Okay, go for essences or currency. I'm going for currency. Ooh, there's some int. Level zombies. Probably should have done that in a moment, but whatever.
Peace to you.
Huh! That's interesting. If the Metamorph dies again, she shouts my daughter. Maybe only if she dies while in the daughter's form. But yeah, she shouts that again. Interesting. Alright. Let's poke our head over here just for this principle's sake, and then we'll shove off. Also, actually, fun fact, since, well, actually, not fun fact, I was just realizing, I was saying when I was playing Betrayal, that it would be the closest I'll get to play the Nemesis system of Shadow Mordor. But I got in contact with Middle-earth Enterprises, the people you have to get in contact with to find out about, like, if you can do a movie or a game on Middle-earth. And they actually responded to me. They'd contacted people at the game studio, and they got back to me. And Middle-earth got back to me. I was actually meaning to send them a response thanking them, and I still haven't. I might do it in a bit. But they actually responded to me. So many other games developers haven't. And they're like the game developers themselves, or the publishers. Not, you know, basically I view Middle-earth Enterprises, you know, ahead above the rest, because they are, you know, the ones that are... They've kind of like angel wing things going on, some of them. You know, people have to contact them if they want to make a Lord of the Rings movie. You know, they aren't just game maker or whatnot. They just seem, you know, a cut above, you know? Again, no offense to any of the rest, it just... You know, they just seem that, you know, a bit meatier. You know?
Far too much baggage.
I'm hoping that we can use Merveil in this one. And I'm hoping we can use her alongside her daughter. That'll be right, ménage de trois. Mother and daughter? Oh my. Marvel Attendance Brain.